There are few pains as deep as the suspicion that the person you trust with your heart may not be faithful. Cheating doesn't always announce itself loudly. Most times, it whispers. It hides in small changes, subtle behaviors, and patterns that don't quite add up. This video is not meant to make you paranoid, but to help you become aware. Because sometimes, your heart notices what your mind tries to ignore. One of the first signs of a cheating partner is a sudden change in communication. Someone who used to be open, warm, and expressive may become distant, short-tempered, or unusually quiet. Calls become shorter. Texts become delayed. The person who once couldn't wait to tell you about their day now gives vague answers like, "It was fine," or "Nothing much happened." Emotional withdrawal often comes before physical betrayal because it is easier to detach internally before crossing the line externally. Another strong sign is secrecy, especially around their phone and online life. If your partner suddenly guards their phone like a state secret, changes passwords frequently, tilts the screen away from you, or becomes nervous when you pick up their device, it could mean they are hiding conversations they don't want you to see. Privacy is normal, but secrecy driven by fear of discovery is different. When transparency disappears, trust starts to crack. A cheating partner may also become unusually defensive or aggressive. Simple questions like, "Who were you talking to?" or "Why did you come home late?" can trigger anger, accusations, or emotional outbursts. They may say you are too controlling, too suspicious, or imagining things, even when you are only seeking clarity. This is often a form of projection and gaslighting, making you feel guilty for noticing what is actually wrong. Changes in routine are another red flag. If your partner suddenly starts working late often, attending new meetings, going out more frequently without clear explanations, or developing habits that don't align with their past lifestyle, it may be worth paying attention. Consistency builds trust. Unexplained inconsistency creates doubt. You may also notice a shift in intimacy. This can go in two opposite directions. Some cheating partners become distant and uninterested in affection, sex, or emotional closeness because their attention is elsewhere. Others become unusually affectionate, overly romantic, or generous, driven by guilt and a subconscious attempt to compensate. Both extremes can signal that something has changed internally. Another sign is a change in how they talk about you and your relationship. They may start criticizing you more, finding faults in things that never used to bother them. This sometimes happens because, deep down, they are trying to justify their behavior by convincing themselves that the relationship is not that good anyway. When respect begins to fade, boundaries often follow. Your intuition also plays a powerful role. That quiet, persistent feeling that something is off should not be ignored. Love is not blind, it is intuitive. When actions, energy, and words no longer align, your spirit senses it before your mind can explain it. While intuition alone is not proof, it is often the first alarm. However, it is important to remember that these signs are not automatic proof of cheating. Stress, depression, personal struggles, or life transitions can also cause behavioral changes. The goal is not to jump to conclusions, but to observe patterns, not isolated incidents. If you recognize several of these signs, the most mature and healing step is communication. Not confrontation with anger, but conversation with honesty. Express how you feel, what you have noticed, and why it hurts. The truth has a way of revealing itself when light is allowed in. At the end of the day, loyalty is not just about physical faithfulness. It is about emotional presence, transparency, and respect. You deserve a relationship where you do not have to constantly wonder, doubt, or compete with someone you cannot see. Love should bring peace, not constant anxiety. And if you ever discover that your fears are true, remember this: someone else's betrayal is not a measure of your worth. It is a reflection of their choices, their discipline, and their values. You are not too much. You are not unlovable. You are simply deserving of honesty and nothing less.